Do you mind describing what attracted you to BCNC?
So I initially didn't actually have much interest in joining it. It was only when a friend whose mom kind of encouraged them to join a program because she saw a pamphlet or something about some of the programs here. And so she was like, "Hey, want to join this program together?" And I was like, "Ah." So we went to the first couple meetings of U Lead, and at first I wasn't particularly too enthused, but I was already there, so I didn't want to leave because that would be awkward. So I stayed there for a couple weeks. That turned to months. That turned to 2 years now, and here I am.
That's how it goes sometimes, I feel. You don't expect it, but here you are years later, still involved. That's
Yeah.
great to hear. Besides you lead, which other programs or other activities have you participated over at BCNC?
No. Oh, I was in the BCNC summer program in 2020. That was an interesting experience because it was the first time BCNC did a virtual program. So things were apparently lot different than previous years. And that program, I liked it. I liked it. So it was remote, it was virtual. And we had professional workshops, which was helpful. I feel like we also had racial justice workshops, which was very interesting and also very relevant and again very helpful. And we also had people come in during, I think, every Friday to talk about their career or like their part of the career. There were medical workers who came in. There was a college student who was studying to be a manager. So I think that was also a pretty helpful part of the experience.
Awesome. Are you also part of the CAT Boston program?
Yes, I am. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, so I joined that program in my junior year because, well, I heard that CAP is a very useful resource, especially for first-gen students who don't have much prior experience with college. So I joined thinking that it would be a helpful resource, and I was right. It was an extremely helpful resource. I clicked with my mentor, Lindsay. Awesome. Shout out to Lindsay. I love her. She's great.
Shout outs to Lindsay.
Yeah, shout out to Lindsay.
So I'm hearing that you've had some really positive experiences with your mentor over at CAP Boston, the opportunity to learn more in the various workshops that you've been a part of. What other skills would you say you've gained from your experience with BCNC?
Leadership. Yes, leadership, speaking out, especially due to U Lead. So U Lead is very much, I guess the program details is a little fuzzy, but basically it's to kind of discover your identity or like place in the community and to help us achieve that. Wilson, the original director, I guess, associate youth advisor, he would make us lead the meetings every day and have us create the meeting agendas. Obviously, we also have to create a community project each year. And even though for the 2020 U Lead year, it kind of went nowhere because it went virtual and things just kind of fell apart, last year we were able to hold a virtual art conference, which was super cool. And on top of that, it was a huge success, which was amazing to hear because we poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. So yeah, I found myself just participating, speaking out a lot because you kind of have to, right? When you're trying to organize a huge community project and work with a bunch of people, you kind of have to go out of your comfort zone and talk. So that was something that I'm super grateful for. Not something that I expected when I first joined, but something that I deeply cherished after joining it for a few years now.
I'm so glad that you were able to develop those leadership skills. And even though you weren't expecting to gain the things that you did gain, that they seem to be serving you extremely well and that they're transferable to whatever you do next. So my last question for you is, what is your dreams? What is your dream job or just in general, what are your dreams post BCNC?
I feel like that is a difficult question because I actually don't have much of an idea what sort of career I want to go to. When I first started high school, I was thinking of going to STEM because I don't know. I'm a curious person. I will say that first. So I was thinking like maybe experiment, discovering something new, science, STEM, that sort of thing. But then as I started going through high school and then sophomore year, junior year, I started realizing that I actually really liked humanities and that sort of stuff, because humanities really lends itself to creativity and talking and discussing and that sort of thing, which I find very enjoyable. And also things like sociology or talking about human beings or stuff related to human beings. Like I really enjoy that as well. It's a little muddy at the moment, but I think it will be okay because people usually discover their passions and their interests and what they're interested in when they go off to college. And I really hope that I will find what exactly sparks, me when I go off to college.
Sure. And even though after you finish with your time at ULead, just connections that you've made here, you're always welcome to come back, meet with your previous mentors, meet with any YC staff to talk more about how we can support you and just help you fulfill those dreams.
Right.